Hey Clashers, Cynthia has right now over 53 stars back to back. Not a single fail, and with that he's rank 1 global in the current Legend League season. He's about to share with us what strategy he is running right now in Legend, because he's running the Warden Fireball Charge with some of the event troops as support. He's bringing quite a few things which are unusual. For example, only bringing 1 rage in this army, and on top of that, using mostly the battle drill. We're going to learn from the master today, so a huge shout out goes to Cynthia for sharing those attacks, and you can follow him as well on our social media, which I will link down below. But let's get things started. The smart thing about bringing only 1 rage is for compact bases where you would bring a rage or multiple rages. Well, you're going to wreck those bases anyways because you're bringing the fireball, and that thing is going to take down compact bases like nothing. But on the other side, if you're facing a base like this right now, well, the defenses are more spread out. But this means as well there is no burst damage on your Warden, so 1 rage is totally fine. But what is he going for with his Warden charges? Well, typically a high priority, for example, is the Clan Castle. If he cannot get that, he's just going in general for value and pathing for then the 2nd and 3rd stage of the attack. The 2nd stage is typically the other heroes, King or Queen. And this is how this attack is structured. He's always going to start with the Warden charge. The next question then is going to be, does the Warden need support from the heroes? If the answer is yes, he's going to bring the King and Queen close by to the Warden to give him a little bit of support and make the push even stronger. If the answer is no, the King and Queen are going to be deployed far away from the Warden to make sure the Warden is not following. Right after, there is another question, and that is, does the Warden need now support, or do the heroes, the King and Queen, need more support? Depending on that, he's going to add the Royal Champion. This time on this specific attack, he thinks the Warden is in a little bit of problems, and that's why he's going to bring that King and Queen from the bottom side. The Warden is going to switch over, support those heroes, and with the Earthquake Boots, with the equipments in general now, he can push deep into the base. At this point, he wants to push those heroes even further towards the Town Hall, and this is now the next stage, the 3rd stage, which is the Royal Champion with the Ram Riders, with the Battle Drill. The Battle Drill in this one is just so genius because it's going to be kind of like another Diggy on the Royal Champ. So instead of having only the Fox, you have now Diggy with the Fox on the Royal Champion. Stunning, tanking, and keeping the Royal Champion alive. And if everything goes wrong, the Royal Champion still has the Hawk Rider puppet to actually just be in safety because you have the invisibility and you have more Hawk Riders getting spawned. To make this even worse than for the defender, he's going to bring the Electro Boots, which makes this attack even stronger because, well, you have no problem with skeleton traps anymore and a really solid DPS equipment. And that's how we can really easily take down bases. But let's take down more bases. Let's take a look at more attacks to see what exactly he does on different style of bases. Because this one is a little bit more compact. It doesn't have as many dead zones as like areas with no buildings, and this is why he has to invest the first rage quite early on to keep that Warden alive and do not waste any other spells. He wants to get quickly into the first couple of defenses. Now, as I said, do you remember what the highest priority typically is? That's right, it is the Clan Castle. On this one, this is why he's going to go for the, building right next to the Clan Castle, which is that Fire Spitter. Taking it out is a huge value already, because the Clan Castle troops, it's typically 2 things right now. It's a damaged Clan Castle with Rocket Loons, Super Minions and such things, which is really annoying to handle for your Warden, because Rocket Loons are dealing a lot of damage. The other option now is Ice Golems, which is annoying because it takes so much time to take them out. So both Clan Castles are really annoying to handle for the Warden, and that's why you want to take down the building. But now we're getting towards the first question, which we always ask ourselves with playing this strategy. Does the Warden need support or not? The answer is no. This is why this time around he's going to send in the King and Queen from the top side on their own to get the Town Hall out. But after that, there's not much damage. The Fire Spitter is showing into the wrong direction, so the King and Queen are fine. Which means he's going to support now the Warden with his 3rd stage, which again is the Royal Champion with those Ram Riders with the Siege, which is the Battle Drill. With that, he's just going to push through. The rage effect of the Warden is on his troops. The healers are switching over, and this push cannot be stopped. I mean, Ram Riders are just so tanky, it's crazy, and it's such a strong troop. Yes, it's not as easy to use because you need to be a little bit surgical with the approach on them. But if you do it right, oh my goodness, they are incredibly strong and really annoying to bait because spring traps, since they are ranged troops, are really hard to deploy versus them. But hey, that's going to be another 3-star for Cynthia. And again, you have those 2 questions in the middle of the attack. Does the warden need support? Deploy the heroes close by. Then, after a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, ask yourself the same question again. Does the warden or do the heroes need support? Let's do it again, okay? Next attack, which this time around is going to be again a warden charge with the fireball in the beginning, but making sure that he's not using the rage, because at this bottom side, there's not as much damage. He's distracting and tanking for the warden with the skeleton spell, which on Town Hall 17 is a really good choice, because you can distract obviously single inferno towers, that's an easy one, but those merged cannons or the monolith, for example, are really good targets to get the skeleton spells on, because that's just so much less damage on your troops instead. But where is he going to fireball? Well, the answer is right on top of the town hall. And this is another reason why he's bringing so many invisibility spells, because this is just so flexible to use. He can use it as protection for the warden, he can control the fireball way better with those invisibility spells, and that is the game changer here. But with that town hall gone, or not gone just yet, but the warden about to approach it, he has to now ask himself the first question. Does the warden need support? And the answer is a clear yes. The problem on this one though is, well, how do we get the heroes in there? This is why he's deciding to flip his second and third stage. Instead of having now King and Queen second, he is now using the Roy Champion with the Ram Riders as second, but still supporting the Warden. So you always have to think in those 3 parts pretty much, which is the Warden, who's already an army on his own, but the Warden part, we have the Roy Champions part with the Ram Riders and the Battle Drill, and then we have the King and Queen part. You can always combine those and like switch them around depending on what you need and where you need is the support needed. But you always need to make sure that you're supporting those troops and those combinations with each other. Since the top side is completely fine right now, he has started with the King and Queen from the bottom side, because again, the top side did not need support. So instead he started the cleanup with this King and Queen from the bottom side, and this base yet again is completely crushed. One fun thing as well which he told me is, with this strategy, you pretty much never need the clan castle. The reason for that is, in all of those shadow attacks which he has posted for me, he has not had a single attack with a battle drill even opened. Yep, that is crazy, and it's kind of like a cool fun fact. But let's move on. Let's take a look at the next base. Yet again, a base which is somewhat compact, I would say, which means overall, not as many dead zones. It's full on damage. And those sort of bases, as I already said in the beginning, are perfect for you as a fireball attacker, because hey, fireball eats those bases for breakfast. And again, what is one of the main targets? That's right, the clan castle. So yet again, he's trying to get a fireball close to the clan castle. The target, one of the buildings surrounding, is like the monolith, the sweeper, or if he even could make it to the fire spitter, that's even better. And that's exactly the target he is going for. And how is he going to do it? Well, since he has so many invisibility spells, as I said earlier, he can just redirect his fireball so perfectly that you have so much impact on this ability. So, let's just wait for the air defense to go down, and this is then going to be our go, which means invisibility spells in, fireball in, and half the base is gone. And now, we're asking ourselves the first question. Yep, we're asking every single tank this question twice. Does the water need support? The answer is a clear no. Not versus the town hall, he's going to be completely fine. That's why he's going to start this king and queen on the far left side. Whenever you're starting your heroes, do start the heroes if you're not sending them in with the warden on the other side of the flank of the fireball value. The fireball in the core, the warden is going one direction, you want to have the heroes going the other direction. Really important so they're not luring each other, and that's then way easier to plan. And at this point, we're getting close to again asking ourselves the question, where do we need support? The warden is fine, yet again, which means we're adding the Ram Rider, we're adding the Roy Champion, and the Battle Drill at the top side. This is doing 2 things. First off, we're supporting King and Queen. On top of that, we're going to open the compartments for them, because Ram Rider, Battle Drill, all of them are going are going to open up the compartments, are going to open up the walls, which means those heroes can access even more of the base. But hey, that's pretty much what you need to do if you want to master this strategy like Cynthia does. It is always those two crucial moments within the attack where you have to decide which part of your push you want to support in what way. The cookies, at the end of the day, are just as a support troop for like funneling or getting the war in the right direction, but that's pretty much it. Otherwise, we have an incredible powerful strategy. Cynthia has done great of putting this army together. And let me know if you like the army as well. As always, the link for it is down below in the description. A huge shout out goes again to Cynthia for sharing those attacks. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next one. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.